This is Introduction to CDN. CDN is an abbreviation for Content Distribution Network, or also called Content Delivery Network. After this 7 minutes, so what is a CDN? CDN, simply put, is a collection of computers, thousands of computers. They're located across the earth. Like, they're all connected to the internet in different countries, So it's just simply a network of computers. It's like all of them ready to serve any request that comes in. So it's just a collection of computers. CDN. To understand why do you need a CDN, you need to understand how a typical web page is constructed. So this is a client. A client is a browser, or it could be a mobile device, or it could be any other computer connected to the internet. So this client, when it says www.google.com on the browser, then there's a server, Google server, listening configured to listen for any request that comes in for www.google.com. And then it returns, it does some computation and then returns raw HTML. This raw HTML is sent back to the client. The client then has an HTML which has a lot of links like CSS, HTML, not HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and images. So what happens is after it downloads the initial HTML, it makes another HTTP request to get the CSS. And then there could be multiple CSS files. And so it makes those many multiple CSS requests. And there could be, similarly, it makes multiple JavaScript requests, images, and Flash, and a lot of such contents, right? So as you see, there are so many requests going on for just one page, www.google.com. So now what happens typically in a small company is it serves everything from the central server. So it serves the CSS, it serves the JavaScript, it serves the HTML, it also serves the Flash and images and everything. So what happens is a single client has so many connections to the same server, right? So so there's a lot of things that can be optimized here, as you see. For this server to be serving millions and millions of clients, it would just run out of bandwidth, or it would run out of capacity to serve so many clients, even when you have thousands of servers. So what happens is that's when CDN comes in. So now when you know how the web page is constructed, it has HTML, CSS, JavaScript, images, Flash, and all of these. So all of these are called static content. Content that doesn't change is static. So CSS, the cascading style sheets, the JavaScript, images, and things like that. They can change, but when they change, they have a new name. So they're basically changed. So they remain static over a long period of time rather than dynamic content. So that's when CDN comes in. A CDN basically helps remove all of those traffic, and then it takes over the load of all the CSS, images, and JavaScript that this original server was serving, and then frees up a lot of bandwidth to serve more dynamic stuff. So what happens is Google.com then, or any internet, this is just an example of Google.com. Any internet scale company like Facebook, LinkedIn, Google, or bigger companies, what they do is they serve dynamic content, that's user generated content, in an HTML, and the links to CSS, JavaScript, and images are redirected towards a CDN provider. So they configure a CDN to serve all of their static content, and it frees them from serving all of those extra requests. So there are multiple advantages of
simple diagram here showing a server hosted down in Dallas. This is my website. And then I have users all around the world. So in Sydney, I might have 5. In London, I've got 5. New York, I might have 10. LA, I might have 10. So I've got 30 users around the world that are accessing my server and my website down in Dallas. So let's kind of follow a set of these users in their journey. Let's look at the users down in Sydney. They make a request to the website. they've got an 8,600-mile hike to Dallas and then an 8,600-mile hike back. The amount of time that that takes is usually measured in milliseconds, and just that round trip might be about 170 milliseconds. Further you're away, the longer it takes, ultimately, the slower the website will be for you. So this is where the CDN comes into play, and this is how it actually accomplishes the increase in speed, which is by reducing the amount of distance between the user and the content, or the server providing the content. So what it does by doing that is it places these content delivery network endpoints in as many locations around the world as possible, and in our case, we're going to assume we've got one in just about every location where our users exist. So now, when the user in Sydney or London or New York City or LA tries to access some content, it's first retrieved by the Content Delivery Network service and then distributed around the world. So we have a single request down to the Dallas server. It's now then distributed all around the world, and our users in London now, instead of going all the way to Dallas, they're able to retrieve that content directly from their closest geographical location, drastically reducing the amount of time that it takes to retrieve that content. So as you can see here, it's very basic how a CDN is able to provide the benefits of, to the end user by reducing the amount of time that it takes to deliver the service. But what you're not seeing here is an indirect benefit is the reduction in the amount of traffic that actually hits the Dallas server. So the indirect benefit is that you actually see a reduction in the load, or a reduction in the amount of capacity that you need in Dallas,